What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having a great day. It has been one hell of a long week for me. Crazy weekend. Sorry I haven't been able to talk to you guys for the last couple of days. Wanted to gather up all the information I possibly could, make a show for you. We're going to do that later here tonight live. We will have a show, but while I was working on that, the Eagles decided to sign one of their rookie minicamp tryouts. So that's what we're here to talk about today, right now. And then later we'll get into the live stuff and we'll recap everything that's been going down here this week. But right here, right now, I appreciate you taking the time. And obviously not a live video, but would love to hear from you. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing to the channel. Anything you're doing to support the channel, can't thank you enough. But roster move made, so video coming your way. So let's talk about this move here. And they waived Tyrion Davis-Price, who obviously was on the team last year, practice squad, running back, did well in the preseason. And look, it's a depth piece. He had some competition here, but not really a big surprise. So he was let go. I know some people were fans of him. Maybe he comes back at some point, but revolving door with that stuff. So Giles Jackson, he was one of the guys that actually participated in this rookie minicamp that was held on Friday and Saturday. So the talk was that they really liked what he was showing, and well, apparently that is the case because they gave him a contract. So he'll be competing this offseason on that 90-man roster, hopeful to make the 53, but if not, you try to make that practice squad. But this is a guy 5'9", 187. He's only 23 years old, but dude, he's got 4.41 speed, very fast little guy. And you talk about having speed. It doesn't always mean everything, but he's got good body control, good hands. I think he's somebody that's got that burst you want to see, and his return ability. And you don't see any stats because he wasn't doing any returning last year because he was their top receiver at Washington. But he can return the ball, and he has played gunner on special teams, so he can provide depth on offense and in the special teams area. So that's great. But a littler guy, not the strongest in the world, kind of, a limited catch radius there at his size. But he's somebody that, hey, man, sky's the limit. Being in this wide receiver room, you never know what it could do for you. But I think that this is somebody having that skill set that he does with that speed that he does. You never know what you could unlock from someone. So maybe you prove it first in the special teams area, make yourself a roster spot there or a practice squad spot, whatever. But you work your way up. And I think, obviously no return stats this year, but in his career, he has actually returned 71 kick returns for a 24.4 average. He has 2 kick return touchdowns. Punt return department, no touchdowns, but a 7.2 average. So just gives you an idea that, one of those gadget players. And we've been adding a couple of those, so we've got some competition now. So I'm all about it, man. 10.5 yards per reception, 7 touchdowns last year. And, he played at Michigan for a few years. If you guys recognize him there, but then transferred to Washington the last couple of years of his 5-year college career. But, hey, again, we need competition at wide receiver. We're going to take a look at the depth chart in a second here. But I'm going to show you there were some other guys that were at these rookie minicamp tryouts. And then I'll show you the list of the undrafted guys that have all been signed. So quite a list. Now, they haven't named anyone else, but there is open roster spots. We'll see, now with the post-June 1st stuff and everything, all that, you can find ways to get guys on the roster. So don't worry about that. But there are, guys that were here before and, Malik Knowles. And you have some 4 veterans, I believe, here. And then the rest of the guys are all undrafted free agents. But you have Marion Brown, who we've talked about. And then a few guys were added. So we broke down all the names that we knew of. And as I told you, that list would probably double. And people we had no clue were going to be there. And holy shit, look at that list. So, there's a breakdown on a lot of these guys. But Knowles and Dogbe and Lelos, who was an edge guy playing long snapper, you see down there with punter Kai Kroger. So Nico Lelos now trying out a long snapper. So no doubt. But bunch of wide receivers there. And we talked about most of those guys, a couple of tight ends, offensive linemen there, bunch of guys on defense. Now, we also talked about Malik Carr, the tight end. Yeah, would love to just give that kid a chance. We'll see if that comes to happen. But for right now, only Giles Jackson was signed. Out of all those players that were trying out, those were all the guys that were trying out on Friday and Saturday, only Giles Jackson was added to the undrafted free agent signings list. So these were the guys we already knew about: Johnson, Powell, Cooper, Morin, and Pierce. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Mays, Dixon, Hook, and Johnson. So these guys are part of that 90-man roster already. Didn't have to try out, but they were there at camp. And again, I'll break down camp. I'll give you the New Jersey numbers, all the stuff you need to know about it. But just for right now, giving you some of the information you need to know with involving Giles Jackson here. So you see, one of the tryouts made it. Now I added him to the depth chart just like I did all of the other undrafted free agent signings. So this is what the Eagles team looks like right now. And you can see down at the bottom, the key: anybody that has the white lettering with a green outline is an undrafted free agent. Anyone with the green lettering, white outline, draft pick. So those rookies have like the outlines, and you'll figure it out from there. The green, those are new additions or players that were re-signed. And then in the gray, those were the reserve future signings. So you get rid of Tyrion Davis-Price, but you have A.J. Dillon, Lou Nichols, Shunderick Powell, and Montrell Johnson were added as well. We know Saquon and Will Shipley leading the way there. So not a big deal, right? You've got 6 running backs competing. I think that's perfectly fine. At wide receiver, though, adding Giles Jackson, I've got him under the Anaya Smith category. He's, that versatile weapon. And maybe you could put Avery Williams, guy I don't even have listed on offense because they don't either, just a return specialist, whatever. But, one of those more so slot guys, just like with Taylor Moore in there. But I think that, lots of competition is a good thing. And we've added it. The free agents, we got Terrace Marshall, the reserve future guys. You got Cooks and Gray there. And then, of course, Cooper, Morin, and now Jackson, the undrafted kids. Last year, we drafted Johnny Wilson and Nia Smith. So didn't need to draft anyone this year, but we've got competition. Obviously, we have the best duo in the league, maybe the best trio. So just need depth. And if you could provide depth that helps in special teams, well, then, oh, hell yeah. You see the offensive line, tight ends. We have broken all this stuff down, just trying to focus on Giles Jackson for now. And, well, added him to the special teams department because he can both punt and kick return, as I had mentioned. So there are a plethora of guys, and I will try to, move this around, change it up a little bit so I can add more names as we find out in the offseason. Now, I know some of the players we have that can do this stuff, but just more so where the Eagles are actually using these guys. So guys like Avery Williams and Anaya Smith, they need to be able to do both punt and kick returnings. That gives them value right there. Provide depth somewhere, another big plus for you. So that's what we drafted Anaya Smith for last year. He was banged up, didn't get to see it. But Avery Williams was brought in, and he is, really good at returning the ball. So he's going to push some of these guys that, maybe they think they're going to make the roster just because they can return. Not so much. So, yes, we need competition. We need to be great from the top to the bottom. And that's what you do when you are signing undrafted guys and, making sure even your depth is top notch. And here's the defense, just in case you wanted to see the rest of the depth chart here. But I'll be breaking that down, taking a longer look at it later tonight, live as we break down the rookie minicamp, talk about who we signed, who maybe we could sign, talk about all the other things that happened this week with JD and everything else. So that's all I've got for you right now. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really does help, and I cannot thank you enough for it. Share this bad boy out there into the universe. Maybe subscribe and join the family. Whatever it is, cannot thank you enough. Commenting, all that stuff, it really does help. If you have any comments, any questions, anything on your mind, something to add, would love to hear from you. Hope to see you later tonight live here at On the Road to Victory. But I'm excited for some football. It sucks we've got to wait these months to get a little camp action, and then you just wait. So I'm going to do my best to get us all through this bad boy with the cap information and everything else under the sun. But all I've got for you right now, if you need anything, always here for you guys. Reach out. Oh, look, it doesn't have to be about the birds. I am always, always down for you guys as you are for me. So I love each and every one of you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope to see you later. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!